me, Tara, coming to you from thecraftsergeant.com. I am super excited to share with you a beautiful project that I created using a technique that I have been longing to create with. So this technique is called the Bokeh technique. And for those of you who don't know what Bokeh is basically a special effect in photography where you take a picture of a subject with a fast lens, and what it does is it blurs the image or the background or creates a soft out of focus background, which is really neat. So what's really cool about this technique is that it can be transferred into the paper crafting community. I'm not sure how long or when this idea originally came about in the paper crafting community, but you probably had the opportunity to watch a couple of videos on how to create this technique, and there are different ways that you can create it. So one is with the watercolors. You can watercolor the background image to create the effect. You can also use sponges, or you can use daubers. For this particular project, I'm using daubers, and I can't tell you guys how excited I am. But look at these projects. They are gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Like, I love it. There's a lot of sparkle. There's some Wink of Stella in there. There's some rhinestones with some bling in there. So let me go ahead and tell you exactly what you're going to need to create these projects, okay? So let's start off with the stamp set. So this is what I used. Now, this set was free, and I'll explain to you how you can get it for free. So I used the Amazing You stamp set along with the Celebrate You Thinlit dies. For those of you who don't know and haven't watched me, or you're not familiar with what Stampin' Up! Does on a monthly basis, there is a promotion going on called Celebration where you can get free items out of this mini brochure. There's actually a new brochure. I don't even know where my new brochure is. So there's some additional products that you can get as well. So when you head over to my online store and you place a qualifying order, whether it's $50 or $100, you can get both of these items for free. You heard that right. So with the dies, this has never been done before with Stampin' Up! This is the first time they've offered dies as a free gift. And man, this was the first thing that I knew I was gonna purchase this combo. And what's cool is that it coordinates. Anyways, so that's what I used for this project. Okay, so let's set that to the side. So you're going to need that. You're also going to need your Big Shot, of course, because you're going to have to cut out those die cut words. For ink, you are going to need quite a few inks for this. You don't necessarily have to use these. And also, you don't have to necessarily write down what I'm saying. There is going to be a PDF available on my website, which will be linked down below with the blog post, the coordinating blog post that goes with it, with the measurements along with a supply list. Okay, so don't worry, I got you covered. So you're going to need basic black, perfect plum, rich raspberry. Let's see here. Some Tempting Turquoise, Melon Mambo, and Whisper White. So those are the inks that I used for this project. You're also going to need some sponge daubers. That's what I used for this project. But like I said, there's other ways that you can achieve the same look. For cardstock, you are going to need the following. I used a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock that measures at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches and is scored at 4.25 inches. Like I said, the measurements will be on my website. I used a piece of basic black that measures at 4... Ooh, I'm having a brain fart. 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And then a piece of Whisper White that measures at 3.75 inches by 5. Ooh, that was painful. I also used a piece of scrap Whisper White just to stamp our sentiment on to this little our Simply sentiment. And then I used some glimmer paper, some silver glimmer paper for the Amazing, and a piece of basic black for the U. Some additional supplies that you are going to need are adhesive. So I used, I think, almost every type of adhesive we have. I used some, ooh, there's lint on it. I used some fast fuse, some glue dots, some multi-purpose glue. Let's see, what else? I think that's it for adhesive. And then we got some rhinestones. I have my Wink of Stella pen just to add a little bit of shimmer. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but look at that. Y'all see that? I love blinging stuff out. Look at there. Isn't that pretty? Anyways. I'm trying to think what else. I think that's it. Clear blocks. Y'all, it's late. It's like 12 o'clock at night. I've been so busy lately, and it's just been hard for me to YouTube lately. So that's why y'all haven't seen me in a while. But you are going to need your paper snips. I'm using my paper piercing tool. And I think that's about it. If, like I said, there's going to be a PDF on my website regarding the products and the measurements, just in case I missed something. So let's go ahead and we're going to start off with our technique. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your lightest color. I'm going to use Melon Mambo in this instant, and then I am going to take my sponge dauber and I'm going to apply some ink onto the sponge dauber, and then I'm going to, in a circular motion, just cover the card. Now there's like no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. Trying to make sure I don't get like really dark, bold like spots. I'm still learning how to use sponge daubers, but it'll be okay. Sorry for shaking the table. It's a little unsteady as I'm going around in circles. But I'm using a slightly light touch to this. Now this technique is kind of messy, so just make sure you have baby wipes available. I have some right there. I mean, technically those are my daughters, but hey, they're gonna get the job done. Ooh, I did forget to tell you guys, there is something else that you are going to need. You're going to need a piece of acetate, and I think it's because I don't see it. Where'd my circle go? Where'd my little acetate sheet go? There it is. So I'll explain what this is, but you are going to need a piece of acetate that has a template on it. I use circles for this, but you can use any kind of shape, like hearts, squares, whatever you fancy. So, and I'll explain to you guys after I'm done doing this what and how that is used for. Alright, so we're done with that color. The next color, raspberry, we're going to go through and we're going to do the same. Now we're going to use our perfect plum. All right. So now it is time for us to do our circles. So this is where the clear acetate comes into play. So all I did was I took my circle dies and my Big Shot, and I cut out various sizes of circles. This little bitty one right here was from my regular like hole punch. So I don't know if y'all can see that very clearly, but this is what they look like. I have different sizes to get this cool technique here. You see that? So they're all different sizes. They're all different. I think opacities is the right term. If not, forgive me. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your template, and I'm going to work one circle at a time. And this is where your baby wipes will come into play, because what I have noticed, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that show you how to do this, and for some reason they make it look perfect, but mine came out almost perfect. The good thing about this is that even if you make a mistake, you can't really notice. But one thing that I noticed was that sometimes, depending on how much white ink you put on the circle and the template, sometimes it'll like go underneath the template and kind of smear. So you just want to be kind of careful as you're doing this. So I went bold, and as you can see, I already kind of like sort of ruined my my whisper white, but it's okay because I'm just using this corner. So you're gonna take your whisper white and you're gonna take your template and you're just gonna start dabbing on the circles. I think that was from me rubbing, because I'm not very patient when it comes to dabbing. Alright, so one thing, you might want to let it dry a little bit, because it's still kind of sticky, a little wet. So you can let it dry, let it sit and dry, or you can hit it with your heat tool. So I'm going to hit it with my heat tool so it can dry a little faster, and I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Before we begin assembling our card and putting our sentiments and stuff on there, what I want to do is I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I am going to tap it so that way it adds a little bit of sparkle, some spots on there. So like I showed you earlier, y'all see that how there's a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of shine going on. I did that by tapping my Wink of Stella pen. So just going like this, making a mess. And then I do like a couple of big ones so I get some big spots on there. And then I clean up my mess because I got Wink of Stella glitter everywhere. And then we're just gonna sit that to the side for now, let it dry. Let me flip my paper roller so that way I'm not ruining all the rest of my card stock. So now it's time for us to assemble our card. So I am going to attach my basic black piece. It's not sitting very well. There we go. To my card base. And then I'm going to take my Bokeh piece and then attach it to the front of the card base as well, like that. Boom. Alright, so now it is time for us to add our sentiment. But before we do that, I wanted to do a little bit more stamping. So we're going to take our Simply sentiment, and we're going to take our piece of Whisper White, and we're going to stamp that onto there. I don't like that one. There we go. A lot better. And we're going to take our paper snips and we're going to cut that out. Boom, there you go. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to place our sentiments onto the card. So how we're going to do this is, one easy way to do it is using the adhesive sheets to create stickers, so that way you can just peel and stick them on there. But for this video, I decided not to do that. I don't know why. So I'm just going to do a little bit of the glue. I'm going to use a sponge, my glue sponge. I call it my glue sponge. And then I'm going to just tap the back side of my sentiments. Alright, so now we're going to take our U and we're going to do the same, the same exact thing right on top of the amazing word. And then we're going to take our glue dots. We're going to take about 2 of them and we're going to attach our simply. So, all right, so now it's time for the final touches, and that is rhinestones. I don't know if I mentioned rhinestones earlier, but you guys know I have to bling it out. So I'm going to place a couple of rhinestones around the card. And there we have it. You are simply amazing. Look how gorgeous these cards are. Y'all see that? They are so pretty. So let me know what you guys think about these cards in the comments below. Because I don't know about you guys, but I love them. They are beautiful and they're gorgeous. And I look forward to creating more projects using this technique. And also let me know if you've used this technique before as well in the comments. So that's basically all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can find more details regarding this project on my blog, thecraftsurgeon.com. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest and greatest in the world of Stampin' Up! And thecraftsurgeon.com. Thanks for watching, and happy stamping.